Hi, I'm Jim.
And I'm David.
And this is the Practical Guitarist Podcast.
The podcast for people who eat, sleep, and breathe guitar. Hi, Jim.
Hey, David.
Here we are for our addendum on tonight's episode.
Yeah.
So we talked about the Tone King and the Katana, or the Viper, PV Viper crushes Katana video. We noticed some other things about this video today that we felt that we would be remiss if we didn't bring these up. So yeah. Jim and I are doing a little special episode, 15, 20 minutes, just to talk about these little things. I'm going to start, and I think this is probably really just kind of silly and in good fun. But I'm going to start. I want to read a review from Sweetwater that I saw that just I cracked up when I read it, and this will set the tone for things to come. I think the review is titled "One of the Best." This is one of the best amps you can buy at such a low price. It beats the price of other amps. It sounds so great and has plenty of bass and treble if that's what you want. It sounds like a real guitar sound, and I am a pro playing for years. The distortions are great, and so are the cleans, and I would say this is a Marshall stack without paying $2,000, and most of the effects are great. This is a pro amp. It has a noise gate, or you can adjust it, or you can turn it off, and it has a clean sound and a solid sound, and I won't buy another amp for a long time. Way to go, PV. Oh, yeah, Sweetwater gave me a deal, and it was perfect delivering it on time, and it get this amp, and you won't be sorry, and mine works perfect. Yeah, there was not a period in that thing.
That thing was written by E.E. Cummings.
Yes.
And those who don't know who E.E. Cummings is, he was a poet who wrote with no punctuation and no capital letters.
Yes. So that was a giant run-on sentence from hell.
Yes.
The point here is that, as we mentioned last night when we were recording the podcast, okay, look, we know the PV Viper that we are familiar with is the inexpensive practice amp model. The one that the Tone King shot out is the Viper Pro 100, which is a $500 amp. Okay? It's a $500 amp being put against a $250 Katana. And that, in my mind, makes it an unfair fight to begin with. Not to mention the fact, and even though it's an unfair fight, I still side with the Katana in listening to the clips of him playing it and listening to the tones. Yeah. What came out of the PV Viper was very, very artificial. It was so far from natural, it was unbelievable.
Yeah, I stand by my comment that when I was listening to his own playing, and this is the thing, again, you get to that, do YouTubers sometimes even listen back to their own audio?
Right.
And that is the articulation of the 50-watt Katana compared to the articulation of the Viper, and go, dude, the Katana sounded better with your own playing, you doing it. How could you not hear that? That's what I was wondering.
Well, it's not just that. When you play with as much gain as he likes to use, there are no dynamics.
Right?
What dynamics?
Right. So
as we look at this amp, of course, we point out the $500 price tag. He could have gotten the 212 100 watt combo, or the just regular old 100 watt combo, or the 150 watt head, which would have put it more in line with the price of the current Viper Pro. And I've seen this. I saw this amp earlier today, and it was $599. My assumption was that
literally the price went down. Looked, and it looks like today.
Yeah, it looks like they dropped the price today or something. But whether they did or not, the point is that this amp is not highly sought after. I mean, you can look in the reviews here. There's 8 people who have taken the time out at Sweetwater to say, I really dig this amp. This amp is cool as hell.
And on all of Google, they were able to find 16 reviews. One of which was a repeat.
What about hey Jim? How many Katana reviews were there?
Of just the 50 watt, there were 150. So that's the difference between there and they were equally spread out of good and bad reviews.
Yeah, and that's fine.
The thing is that you're looking at a larger number of people.
Yeah, when you're looking at 8 reviews, your immediate thought should be, is this a reliable source of information? Is this a good statistical sample? And the fact is, I mean, Sweetwater may have sold 30 of these over time, you know, and 8 people reviewed it. Or it's probably a higher number. They probably sold a couple hundred. But, you know, only 8 people took the time to review it. The katana is basically selling like hotcakes. I mean, it's pretty clear everybody and their mother has one. I've had 2. Lots of other people have had 2. So, I mean, I don't think there's any disputing that. But I just feel like if we examine this situation with him further, like, it's pretty clear he knew what he was doing, or that he just didn't care, and it was like this was phoning it in just to get some cheap views. Which now that I clicked on it, because I have a policy, I wasn't going to click on his crap. I'm tired of it. But I have a policy about that, and I violated it. So now he's probably going to make a penny off the fact that I viewed his damn video.
No, less than that.
Well, if our listeners go and listen to it, Jim.
And by the way, there were 74 reviews on Sweetwater alone for the Katana 50.
Yeah.
Just for the 50.
Yeah. So what I want to say, and why I feel we would be remiss to mention this, I don't think I mentioned last night, this video is a year old. Okay. So we're bringing this up as, you know, controversy. It's not really controversy. We just watching people and like the Tone King and Ed Roman, and the guy
just
from
an
Kiesel,
example,
are just examples of behavior we've seen elsewhere. I can single him out. I like to single him out because he's so obvious and it's easy to do it. I can take any of his videos and pick them apart like this. It's not hard. So it is what it is.
They call it shilling.
Yeah, that's what it is. If you haven't heard that term before, shilling, it's basically going in, pretending that you don't work for the company that you are getting somehow compensated from, and talking about how great their product is over and over, and even throwing other products under the bus in response. It's a frowned upon activity, pretty much. And this is no different. So, did you have anything you wanted to add, Jim?
I just want to say that when you're looking at product reviews, I understand when people say, "Here's this Harley Benton against this Paul Reed Smith." They're trying to say, look at how much more you can get for a little bit of money. They're still doing a little bit of this. There's always going to be it's always a buyer beware market. But when you take a product that's at the time, at least, over double the money of the item you're comparing it to, and then saying, look at this, that would be like me saying, hey, look, I got this Paul Reed Smith Custom 24 and this Harley Benton, and the Custom 24 blows it out of the water.
Yeah, no shit.
That's a no-brainer.
Well, that's like I did my katana video. I did my katana video, and the point was not to have the katana outdo the Mesa. The point was to have the katana compared to the Mesa so you could see how much you get for how little money that is. Right. Like, there's no way in hell that thing was ever going to sound as good as my Boogie does. Right.
And we're not trying to say, go out and buy a katana. What we were trying to say is, if you want some decent sounds, this thing isn't an alternative. That's what you're after. Whenever somebody does this, it's kind of like the old days when a used car salesman would make a car sound and run real well, just long enough to get it off the lot, and then you had what they call a tail light warranty.
You got black smoke coming out the tailpipe, and
it's what we call the tail light warranty. But as soon as they can't see your tail lights, your warranty is up. Yeah. So it's a terrible thing.
Beware. Caveat emptor. Buyer beware.
Yes. Caveat emptor. That's really what I have for that. Seriously.
All right. Well, I'm glad you guys tuned in for the addendum. Hopefully found some information here interesting, or at least to enhance discussions you have with other people. So thanks, guys.
Oh, and where's Dorothy?
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll find out about that in a minute. I've been David.
And I've been the Wicked Witch of the East.
No. You've been the Lollipop Guild.
No, I've been the Lollipop Guild.
Yeah. All right. Bye, Jim.
Bye, David.